Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again to the Growth Network. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Hey, let's talk about the video that everybody's been talking about for about the past week or so, and it's about the guy who went to his baby mama's house, dropping off some McDonald's for his child only, and the mother called herself doing something smart, trying to expose him for being a deadbeat step baby daddy. I didn't understand, but anyway, we've all seen it. I'm gonna try to put the link in the description box if I can remember. Like I said, I'm getting over mine getting bad, but anyway, the thing is, first video, the guy's bringing in McDonald's, which is number one, probably like one of the worst foods in the world to bring to eat, to feed your children, to feed anybody. But he's bringing in, he's looking like he's proud, bringing his son, which is the youngest of her 4 children, bringing him food. So she calls herself going outside and exposing him for it, saying asking why isn't he bringing food for the other children. Now he makes a point like, look, those are your, them your kids, and you supposed to feed them. It's not my responsibility. Blah blah blah. She like, my food don't come to the 11. So with her saying that, one, it lets me know that he knows a lot about her, and they probably did date, and they probably not so recently broke up, because I've never known. I don't know. Like I said, that's a lot of details. Like I said, if he know now, I know women who will know things. I know my first wife, or the mother of my children, she knew my social security number before I did. That's just, I don't know, didn't understand how she did it, but she knew before I did. I think she knew before we even got married. I'm like, man, God, it was crazy. But anyways, let's either here or there. 18 years old, 19 years old. Let's fast forward to 45, okay? So I know women know, they understand, they remember details like dates and numbers when it comes to you, or whatever the case comes to y'all and y'all relationship. Dudes, not so much. So if he knows what her food stamp date is, undoubtedly, like I say, they was probably a lot closer than maybe we think we give them credit for, or maybe she, says it from time to time or whatever. So, but she gets upset, like I say, and going off saying like, why, he got 3 other kids. Now remember, their child is the youngest child. So I think it'd be different if their child was the oldest child and he wanted to bring something for the child to eat. Then it's like, hey, then he could be like, I didn't tell you to have them other 3 kids. I had 1 child with you. I had the first, and it is what it is. I could probably understand that more. Not saying it was right, not saying it was wrong, but I'm just saying I could probably understand that ideology more. But then she grabs the food to give it her, and like a fool, he gave it to her, because I wouldn't have gave it to her. Because you know what? Really, if he really wanted his son to eat, and I don't know if this is the first time and she went off like she done said this to him many a time, but if this is the first time she ever said it's kind of jacked up. But if I was him, I probably would have actually taken my child out to eat, and then let them come back. And then if she wanted to be upset about it, then that'd be a totally different thing. But because I have, like I said, with my 2 kids, like I said, they stay with them. Well, my youngest one, my oldest one's grown, but my youngest one stay with her mother, and the mother has another child that's younger than mine. So I go pick my daughter up. I would go pick her up, or go to her school and eat lunch with her, or something like that. Not, and and she's married to the other kid's daddy, so it's not even the same situation. But I wouldn't even, I just wouldn't, that'd be kind of thrown off if, I don't know, I'd be kind of thrown off, go there and then he felt like so comfortable, I'm saying, he was like, you're gonna go in the house again. Their relationship ain't too far gone, their relationship ain't too far in, like really. But she takes the food and throw it on the ground, which is good, because he shouldn't have brought that poison anyway. But the thing about it is, even though your food stamps come on 11, like, woman, if you got 4 kids, you getting hella food stamps. Why in the hell and your refrigerator not full of food, and while you ain't there cooking, you probably got a bunch of junk. I bet you if you go in them dang on cabinets, got probably like a lot of chips, some freaking honey buns, some kind of cookies, maybe a bunch of bagged cereal, but probably ain't got nothing in that refrigerator that can give them kids nutrition. I know it's inflation or what have you, but this video, from what I see, it might have came at the end of this past month, so you still got like, I mean, if the video's up to date, you still have like 2 weeks left. So your kids are not gonna eat for the next 2 weeks. This woman is not making sense. But here's the flip side of it. In her rebuttal video on why everybody's getting on her, she says that, he did it when they were together. And he even want to come over and try to dibble dab. You see how she tried to say it like, well, you want to try to come over and dabble a little bit, try to get you some. So in other words, you're giving him some. He comes over there and you give him some. Let's just put it out there. He comes over there, you giving him some, and so you expect him to feed the rest of you. Want to keep it like it's y'all are still in a relationship. You want to act like it, but you're not in a relationship. You still want him to do the same thing he did when y'all was in a relationship. Now that you're not in a relationship, and you still let him knock you down, and you still want him to feed you. Not understanding that he was probably feeding your kids because he was trying to knock you down, or he was knocking you down on a consistent basis, and he thought it was his. But now that y'all ain't together no more, he like, the hell with it. Let's the hell with them kids. I feel that they both are delusional. Because one, while he sat there and said that those other kids are not his kids, dude, you had a kid with a woman who had little babies, young kids. Now it'd be different maybe if the kids were older. I mean, I don't know how old the kids are, you know what I'm saying? But it'd be different if they was like high school, grown, stuff like that. And it was something different, and you're like, well, these kids are older and I ain't got to raise these kids. Or it'd be different if you wasn't that too involved in the other kids' lives, and maybe the other dads, which she didn't mention in her rebuttal video with that, with that super weave and them nails and that makeup, making her looking like she's trying to go to see the wizard, but claiming she ain't got no food stamp money. So I wondered, did you sell your food stamps to get that hat on? But anyway, instead of, yeah, he's delusional. Like I say, he messed up. But like she said, you knew what you was getting into when you got into it, period. But you know how it is, lust and the human body and the needs, man, that stuff supersedes a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of time. So he ain't the first and he won't be the last. But what it does tell you is, this is a good story, whether because some people say thought it was fake, but I'm saying like that, it's a good story to tell. Let you should understand this, fellas. You gotta understand. You gotta look at what you're getting into. You gotta see what they say. Can't see the forest for the trees. You got to see the forest. You got to see it all, and then you have to decide if that's what you want to do. Myself, if I was in his shoes, I mean, again, like I say, young kids, you know what I'm saying, dude, probably should have strapped up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he was strapped up and it broke or slipped off, or she said she's on the pill and didn't work. Who knows? Who knows what the issue was? But we said younger and she got young kids. Like I say, dudes just don't see. I'm gonna say it like this too. If he really cared about his son eating and didn't want to be bothered with the mothers, he's trying to get custody. He's trying to fight to get custody. I mean, to me, that's his best option. Fight to get custody of your boy, because undoubtedly she done already told her she ain't got food stamps, so she ain't got no money for food. So undoubtedly, you need to get your son away from that environment, because she can't feed him. I mean, it's basically what she's saying in the video. Now, like I say, she delusional because she feel everything should stay the same, but she getting assistance from the government, and she feels she should get assistance from a baby daddy. Again, I'm wondering if the other fathers are in the kid's life. I doubt it. by the way she's going off, because usually women and the government and whoever, they'll go off on the person that's doing the most. They try to put the screws to the people that do the most compared to people that don't do nothing. It's kind of like a job. Like, you can go to job every day, come to work every day, don't call off, don't be sick, come on time, leave, work overtime, do what you need to do, try to do more, and they won't pay you. And then when it's time for the raise, you won't get crap. And then when you've been there 20-something years, you don't get nothing. Like the guy that worked at, I forgot, was it Wendy's or somewhere? Some guy in the video not too long ago had he showed some bag that he got that. Kind of find out it was from his co-workers. So that's even worse. And the company he worked for said this is a bad guy from his co-workers. Would let you know that they know that the company wasn't going to give him crap. And then he ended up getting a whole lot of money from people like, I don't know, GoFundMe or something like that. I don't know what it was. But again, those that, and he said he never called off, never been sick. And then his kids was like, he was a great dad. He said he kept the job for the benefits or whatever. And it was, for the benefits to help them, like, for medical benefits, stuff like that. It was great. So that's why he stayed. But again, company gave him very little to nothing. But he was a loyal employee, and you see what happened. So it's like, you can be the best daddy out of all the kids. You see how she treats you. You can be the best daddy of all the kids, and the government will try to put you on child support and try to max you out and try to drain you. Had the same thing almost like try to be happening to me. But in a couple of months, that'll all be over. But anyway, yeah. That's pretty much my take on this. I mean, I'm like seeing on both ends. They're both, because everybody got people. You just got to start being accountable. And again, goes back to the whole courting process. You see somebody, you date them, you court them for a while. You show what you bring, they show what they bring. Families get involved, the elders get involved, the community get involved to make sure this relationship, becomes what it needs to be. And then you end up, if y'all want to, make it long term, make it something serious, then you do that. But hey, men get horny, women get horny. I mean, hell, she got 3 kids, so you know what I'm saying, she get horny. So we let that dictate our thinking first. I mean, it is what it is, but we just gotta, change it and try to teach our kids different, teach the next generation different. Not to do the same thing that we've done or we continue to do. But anywho, tell me what y'all think about this story, man. Leave your comment below and share it with the world. Like I say, everybody has to hold themselves accountable for their actions. She got 4 children. Do I knock her for having 4 children? Because you never know what a person's going through, what the reason why it happened. She could have been in a relationship with these guys, and these guys end up not being worth a damn. But then you can say, well, she chose them, guy. But then again, it goes back to the circles you run in. Women say they want a certain type of man, and ain't no good men around. But if you run in the same circles, stay in the same circle, picking the men from the same circle, what you think you're gonna find? So sometimes you gotta expand, get outside your comfort zone in order for success. And that's with anything in life. So, like I said, I don't know what's the reason for her, ended up having multiple children with multiple baby daddies, but that's her story, and she's sticking with it. Him, I don't know what made him feel that getting a relationship with her was going to be the thing to do. Again, I don't think neither one of them thought of it as long term. I think both of them thought of it as, we got to get us something. We got to get our rocks off. And then once that's over with, then we'll deal with it. Because I heard women say, hey, we just going to do what we do. And if it turns into something, that's fine. If it don't, that's cool too. And that's a lie. That's a lie. Once you get intimate with somebody, especially y'all swapping fluids, it's a wrap. Emotions are going to be in it. Whether you want to hide it or not. And hiding is what make, I think, a lot of women upset, because they try to hide it, but they know they feel a certain way. And dudes, they feel a certain way, but they real good about being nonchalant. We are real good about being nonchalant about how we feel about someone else. But yeah, dude, if he, like I said, really cared about them children, his boy, he need to fight to get custody. Period. I mean, if he's concerned, I ain't gonna say if he don't care. I'm sure he care, because sometimes you gotta pick your battles wisely. But I mean, if he was actually concerned about his child's well-being, then he should, fight for custody. If he's not, then let his child continue to be in that, be in that household with her, and they just be great co-parents. Feel me? And like I say, if she wants to sit there and act like that she's not the bad guy, you are pretty much the villain in this, if not 50% or more. You're the villain in the story, because again, you expected something, but then I gotta blame the system. Gotta blame the system to make you believe that you deserve any and everything in the world, and not putting in no effort. Not putting in the effort to where you deserve all kind of benefits from the government, which makes no sense at all. And I've did videos about that too. But anyway, I'm out of here again. Leave your comment below and then share it with the world. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I see you on the other side.